All right, Mr. Dillon, thank you very much for taking time from your busy schedule to just have a little conversation with us to give your opinion and your feelings of this second land conference that will be coming
Yeah.
now in September. There was a commission by our president. So,
Mhm.
Dylan, let's get into this quickly. Let's get the ball rolling. I'd love to pick your brain on this. So, what is your opinion on the second land conference, and the second land conference is about to happen in our country? What is your opinion on this?
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, Mitch. I think, in terms of my opinion, I think it is long overdue.
Mm,
The second land conference was bound to happen a long time ago.
mm,
So I feel the fact that the president commissioned it now
yeah.
is a really good strategy, because if you look at the current status quo, the land debate is very much heating up. And I think the land conference will offer us that opportunity to really iron out some issues, and everyone can really contribute in terms of their perspective and in terms of their opinion. So I think it's long overdue, and as Namibians, we should all really heed to the president's call to attend the second land conference. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are your opinions on the call for ancestral land that is becoming oh so loud as we read in the newspaper? Even though some people are now using it as a tribalist call, but yeah, what is your opinion on that?
I think the issue of land, especially in the Namibian context, it's not as academic as we'd hope it to be. It's really much political, and I think that's what puts us as Namibians at a disadvantage, because whatever opinion you put forward, it's either being classified as your pro or your anti the establishment. So I think the current debate really needs to shift away from more or less these issues of SWAPO politics, and really shift toward the issue of legislation, the constitution, the current owners of the land, which is the majority white people, what kind of land we're talking about. So I think we should really build another scope when we're trying to deal with the land debate. But I think it's the current status quo is healthy. It's not as bad as we think. It's healthy, and we should just embrace it.
So, what is your opinion for a person who is previously disadvantaged and is now trying to reclaim his ancestral land? You know, as you know, the history of Africa, where the people were displaced. You know, now some people in Namibia are calling for this land. They say, look, we want our ancestral land back. We don't want to share it with other people who want this back. We are tired of sharing it with other people from other regions. But us ourselves, the rightful owners of this land, we're not getting anything. What is your opinion on that?
You see, Mitchell, as Namibians, we really need to be patriotic towards really who do we identify as our people. I think it would be misfortunate to say that those who currently own the land aren't our people. Namibia belongs to everybody who lives in it. And if we're going to have to come up with a solution, especially when it comes to land, it should not be one that disadvantages, of course, the minority, which are white people. We should deal with the land issue to come up with a fair and equitable solution. We shouldn't deal with the land issue to prove something. And the dangers of proving something in this instance is that we're going to have a situation where we're going to move towards the direction of Zimbabwe. Because I think the Zimbabwe land issue, it was done to prove a point that you can take back the land, but then there was so much violence in towards it. So I think that we should really harmonize ourselves. As much as the issue is pressing, as much as the issue needs attention, as much as we understand that we are previously disadvantaged, I think we should have that pragmatic thinking to say that whatever solution we put on the table that of course has to be accepted must be one that benefits everybody and not really disenfranchises or disadvantages the minority. But then again, the land solution put forward should benefit black people as well, because we do understand the history thereof and the sort of how the minority benefited from this auspices of apartheid. Yes.
Okay. So from what I'm picking up from your answer there is that you believe that the resources need to be equally shared amongst everybody, particularly whether you belong to what tribe or what race you belong to. Is that what you believe in, that we should share these resources fairly? Yeah, so is that what you believe in, that we should share these resources fairly amongst ourselves?
Yeah, I do believe we should share the resources fairly. I mean, so if we are all going to put in our land claims, I mean, then we might as well go claim the Tosha and forget about Save the Rhino and all those initiatives. Yeah. We should be able to really, and I think this is one of the pressing issues, is the level of uncertainty that this land should create. What land are we going after should be, I think, very, very carefully, and it should be clarified at the land concerns. Are we going after farmers? Are we going after land? Are we going after conservancies? What exactly are we going after? So I think, but then again, at the end of it, the solutions from that must benefit everybody. We can't now come with a solution where we try and play the game of colonizers and then we colonize and disadvantage our minority brothers and sisters. But then again, the solution must be fair. It cannot be an instance where we just get, again, crumbs from what was eaten at the land table. We cannot accept such an example.
Okay. So then, Dylan, if I may ask, what do you think about those individuals that are trying to use their tribal roots, as we know how Namibian history is, it's complex. Namibian history has many faces and many phases. Yeah. There are some individuals who are trying to use their tribal roots as to claim, like, look, if you're a person from the north, you can't be getting a resettlement farm in the south. The south farms that are there have to be returned to the rightful indigenous people of the south, and those are the people that say, look, that's our ancestral land. Why are you resettling Mr. Dylan, who's from the north, and they're not resettling Mr. Kutsios from the south? What is your opinion on that, though?
I think what we should really demotivate is using the past and your heritage or your indigenousness to then push forward your own personal agendas. We understand these people's frustrations. Then people must really get us when we as people who analyze these issues say that we understand their frustration. But that cannot be a justification for people just to go ahead and then occupy this land. We cannot have such a scenario. That scenario is very, very dangerous. It only took one decision for Zimbabwe, to go from being the breadbasket of Africa to being the child that keeps on asking. So really, we should come up with more pragmatic solutions and really disempower this thing where people use their tribe, their indigenous heritage, even though they were really disadvantaged. Be it whether you are Namara or Herero, of which the genocide happened to. We cannot put your claim above the rest. Apartheid happened to all of us. We were all colonized by the Germans. So we can't put forward one atrocity over the other. So I think really we should disempower these people, and we shouldn't allow that tribal card to be played, because it's a very, very dangerous card, especially in Namibia, where tribal tensions are at an all-time high. We cannot afford that kind of tribal narrative to be normalized in the debate.
No. So then, do you think that this calls hold any basis? Do you think that there's ground for these calls that the people are making right now, or we should look at a more, as you are saying, a holistic view at this?
Yeah, the call is genuine. If there's one thing that we really need to recognize, is that there is a disparity when it comes to land. Those people who are pushing for land claims, it is legitimate. The people did lose their land. The minority did benefit from the auspices and the approaches of apartheid. So we really need to legitimize the people's call for land and ancestral land. But what we shouldn't do is allow the tribal card to be normalized. The moment we normalize that debate, I think we steer the debate in a complete new direction, which will only lead us to having the land conference, or even cancellation of the land conference because of tensions that might come from this tribal card. So I think once we enter the land conference, when we build up to the land conference, these regional land conferences, it's one thing I've noticed up is that they are weak in the sense that you don't really get why these regional land conferences have been called. We don't know what are some of the recommendations. the findings that we read, it's just normal findings that we can go search online. Like, for example, worst case scenario to the land conference is that we go to the land conference and say that, yes, this issue of land, yes, we need to fix it. And that's where the line is drawn. And it's moving towards that, because the regional land conferences is not coming up with what we need it to come up. And that is why really among the things I advocate for is that we need a predetermined outcome of the land conference so that we know where we stand and we know that when we go to the land conference, what are we going to debate about. We can't go there and only then realize we have a land problem, adopt the issue of, yes, we have a land problem, yes, we'll fix it, and stuff like that. So I think the controversial part is we need a predetermined outcome.
Okay. And then let's touch on the resettlement policy that our government adopted in 1990, willing buyer, willing sellers. What do you think about the resettlement process? Is it sufficient? Is it really fixing the problems, or we need to scrap it, or we need to tear it up and throw it away and come up with something bigger, better, more radical?
I think there are a few words I have for that policy. Throw the whole thing away, literally. That policy, if you look at it, it goes against everything we stand for, which is fair reform, which is redistribution of that land. That policy has so many flaws to it. It's a capitalist policy. Recent figures we've seen is like government spend over $1.something billion ever since to get back this land, this settlement farms. But obviously you can see that it has not worked, because another flaw of the policy is that it only works for those that actually have access, that political status and political control. That's why you see the people that currently get the farms are ministers, wives of governors and stuff like that. It's not supposed to be happening in a policy that's meant to readdress the injustices of the past. So I think we really need to scrap that policy. Also, in coming up with a new policy, I think, which has never been done to any other policy, is we need a collective approach to developing the policy. These things where ministers come and hold public meetings and apparently get the views of the people, but then at the end of the policy, when the policy is being put in Parliament, none of these views are incorporated. That is the problem with policy making that we currently have in Namibia. It's not informed by the people, it is informed by politics. We need to depoliticize and we need to desensitize some of these issues so we can really allow for more open, more informed, more public, more community-oriented views to really reflect in policies. So I think we need to scrap the policy. It's not working. Government should stop wasting money on buying these expensive farms, and we need to really build up to the conference. And this is where I stress again on the regional land conferences. It's from these regional land conferences that we should be putting forward a new call for a new policy to come up, but we don't see that happening. So in my analysis, I think we should get rid of the policy. We should come up with a new people-centered policy so that we can really readdress the injustices of the past.
Going back to the regional conferences that we see, that you pointed out about twice now, there was a couple held. The one in the Commerce region, I read in the newspaper, in the print media, that they were talking of expropriating land without compensation. What's your opinion on that? Do you think if we say today we're going to expropriate farms from people, would it really fix the already land hunger that's going on, or it will cause more problems, as what you pointed out of Zimbabwe?
I think, yes, we do need expropriation of land without compensation. But however, and this is probably going to be controversial, but I don't see that how our current administration can really push forward such a radical socialist policy. And in that, one thing you really need to understand is, and to back up what I'm saying about, I don't think this administration can really put that forward, is that we've seen in other policies such as the NEEF in Namibia, Equitable Economic Empowerment Framework. There was a clause of 25%. All it took was a few influential people to go against that clause, of which the whole clause was scrapped as a whole. So we can use, it is against that we see that expropriation of land without compensation is it's a tree or a dream that's too far past the reach right now. I think we're going to need a new kind of political injection. I'm not saying we need a new political party. I just think that we need a new narrative in our current majority party that can really push forward this issue of expropriation of land without compensation. And also on the NEF policy that I mentioned, it's really hard to trace what our policymakers think of the policy. Well, there are just 1, 2, 3 people that we see who really speak on the policy, which is the president, the prime minister, and the finance minister. It should not be this way. We should be able to have an informed whole view from all the policymakers, so we can know who's for it and who's against it. What we see now is this thing of guided democracy, whereby people are closing ranks on their traditional base and on really what they feel should and should not happen. So I just feel that expropriation of land without compensation is a dimension that we can look at. But I don't see it panning out. I don't see it working out anytime soon, because I don't think there's enough political will to push that forward. The radicals, or the radicals that could have pushed that forward aren't really active in the Soccer Party right now. What we have now is a really a liberal, conservative Soccer Party that is really focused on, economic growth and so forth. So I don't see how such a radical leftist policy can be pushed forward by the Soccer Party right now. I would be surprised if they go ahead and prove otherwise.
Okay. So then, Dylan, last question: what are you hoping would come from this second land conference? What are your aspirations, your hopes that what would come? Something much more tangible, is what you're saying.
Mitchell, what I hope to come is really, I hope for an ethnographic solution, meaning a solution that we can really go and implement. And one thing I'm advocating for is we need a predetermined outcome, at least 2 or 3 of them, to say that at the end of the land conference, we have worked towards expropriation of the land without compensation. Or we have worked towards expropriation of land in itself, not in the classification of with or without compensation. Or we work towards the new resettlement policy, which I think is highly unlikely because the regional conferences aren't really putting that narrative forward. So I think the outcome, what I hope for in the land conference is just we need more tangible, accountable outcomes. And accountable in the sense that after the land conference, there should be a time frame onto which the recommendations or the remedial action should be implemented. And if we see them not being implemented, we should be able to go knock on someone's door and say that we are not seeing any results. Hence, I'm saying that we need a more accountable strategy or outcome, or rather remedial action from the policy. But really, in my final analysis, I don't see that happening, because what you pick up from the regional conferences is this really guided, well-coordinated strategy, or rather guided democracy. So really, Mitchell, only time will tell. And I think 1 month before the land conference would be the perfect time to give more direct analysis on what we think will actually happen at the land conference.
All right, Dylan, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a million for taking time to share your educated and unbiased opinion on this issue. And thanks a lot, brother, for making time and putting your voice out there, being brave enough to put your voice out there. Really, I hope that... Thank you for having me, Mitchell. I hope that this video will get out there and will really get the people listening and realizing that, we're trying stuff here. We also have opinions on this land issues. It's not just coming down from a political party. It's the people who also have opinions on this.
Definitely.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, brother. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mitchell.
All right, bye.